Diego, and I'm at the Social Media Marketing World 2018, and my whole purpose to come here was to find people and meet them and understand that how they have changed, or shifted the dynamics of their life when they have hit a wall. And who could be a perfect candidate like Balazs, who is from Karlsruhe, Germany, but he's a Hungarian by origin, and we became early friends right in the beginning of the event. And we started talking about how our life have transpired into different segments and how we moved from shifted our gears from one place to other. And Balazs was sharing his story, and I said, Balazs, this is a fantastic story that you have, that how you moved from one place of your life to another over the lifespan of yours so far. And why don't you share this with my audience that I have on LinkedIn? So why don't you introduce yourself, who you work for and where you are and which part of the world you're from, and then we'll get to the story.
So my name is Balazs Ferenczi. I'm 33 years old. I come from Karlsruhe, Germany. I live in Germany, southwest of Germany, but I'm from Hungary originally.
Okay, and you were talking about that today you are blogging for some watch magazine and a bunch of things that's going on, but you're more in the artistic creative side of the world. You're blogging articles and things like that.
Right. So
But this was not like this before, right?
No, it was not.
Beginning.
No, my day job is social media and content marketing manager for Chrono24, which is a watch platform, and as a side project or as a side job, I work for an online watch magazine called Fratello Watches.
Fratello Watches, and that's out in Germany too?
That's out everywhere in the world. There's 6 guys, 4 in the Netherlands and 2 in Germany, and it's partly owned by a German publishing house indeed.
So what really made me, like, I really loved hearing from you is that when you said that you were not a blogger, you were completely in the hospitality business or something,
right,
and you're in Scotland and other places.
Right.
So why don't you tell that story briefly, that what made you think one day that, hey, this is not the place I want to be, and how you moved from there?
Right. So I graduated in English, but I worked in the hospitality sector in different countries, England, okay, United States, Austria, and then I went back to Hungary, and I didn't really feel it.
Right.
So I wanted to move, change, and then I got this job in Scotland, working as a restaurant manager for a restaurant in Scotland. And that was the time I was turning 30. My birthday's in July.
Yeah.
And I was living in Scotland. I didn't really like the job. The weather was not too nice. And I wanted to do something that I enjoy.
Yeah.
That is.
And you were not enjoying what you were doing at that time.
I wasn't. I mean, I had to do it. It paid the bills.
Of course.
It was good money, but it was not a passion of mine, not a hobby of mine, not something when I can wake up in the morning and say I'm happy to go to work and create, produce something, whatever that is.
Right.
So I've always been a watch guy. I love watches. I love reading blogs.
So you had a passion for watches?
I had a passion, yes. But I was more a passive guy. I was reading, not really talking that much, or publishing anything.
Yeah.
And then and there's this blog or online magazine called Fratello Watches, which I've always loved to read.
Right.
And as I was getting close to my birthday, I sent an email to the editor and I said, listen, I don't know who you are. I mean, I know who you are, but I don't know how big the company is or if you need any people. But if so, that here I am. I think I can do something.
So purely cold call. You didn't have a relationship.
Nothing.
Just shot him with an email right away.
I sent him an email. I said, listen, I read your blog.
Yeah.
But I think I should tell some stories about watches that people don't know, or the stories are not completely true. I want to write about that and put it out so people get it right. And if you're interested, I can do that.
So what we feel, I've talked about in earlier versions of my episodes, that you have to muster the courage, and you have to reach out. You just can't sit down and think that things will change. No. You have to do it yourself, and that's what you did. You just said, I'm gonna reach out, I'm gonna do this. I have nothing to lose. He's not gonna fire me because I'm not in a job anyways.
Exactly.
So
this was just something that what he did, I admired.
Yeah.
I loved the website. What I did didn't bring me any joy, so I thought, why not send him an email? Maybe anything could come out of it. And, that's something that I enjoy. So I sent him an email, and he replied, and he said, you know what, send me an article and we see about that. So I was so pumped. It was between 2 shifts, and I was at home and I wrote 2 articles in like 1 hour.
Between 2 shifts. Yeah, so you can always find the time that you're passionate about.
That was like 40 minutes or 50 minutes. I just wrote them 2 articles and I sent it to him. Obviously I didn't know how to write it and the words and all that stuff, how many the word counts. So I just sent him the articles, and then he got back to me and we had to change a few things, vice versa. And then, long story short, the first article was published 2 days after my 30th birthday.
Wow. So the day that you had the birthday in Scotland, in a gloomy afternoon, and you think, what am I doing in my life?
Right.
And within 2 days, you have written an article, published in the magazine, you reached out to the editor by yourself, and that's how you made that shift, the change in gears in your life. Wonderful. And then tell a little bit of the story that you started writing for watches, and the Omega, the famous brand, luxury brand of watches, how that kind of transpired into you guys collaborating together to come up with the design.
So we had a great relationship with Omega.
Okay.
Omega has a model called the Speedmaster, which is the watch that went to the moon.
Right.
And
you mean the Neil Armstrong and
exactly that watch. And every Tuesday we would write an article about it, about the Speedmaster.
Right.
It was 2012, and our editor-in-chief, Robert Chambreux, was on holiday, and he had a Speedmaster on his wrist, and he took a picture. He wanted to post it on Instagram, and so he came up with the hashtag Speedy Tuesday, because it was a Tuesday. He had a Speedy on. And he started using the hashtag, and so Speedy Tuesday became this thing. As I said, like every Tuesday we would write an article. And
it's like my terrific Tuesday episodes. Like every Tuesday.
Pretty much.
Okay,
it's just
awesome.
like out of the blue. It's like Tuesday, Speedmaster, let's go Speedy Tuesday.
Okay.
So we started writing articles every Tuesday about Speedmasters. And that transpired to a relationship with Omega. And eventually, Omega and mostly Robert Jan had a meeting, and at the meeting they decided that we should do something to commemorate this this hashtag and this whole movement that we created, and that resulted in a watch that was released 2017, the beginning of January.
Wow, so you were part of that whole collaborative effort that brought that design into place, that brought that watch into
So Omega had ideas, and we had ideas, and we worked with Omega. And obviously it was, they were in control, but they took our ideas and our input, and we came up with this. They came up with this watch. It's a limited edition of 2012 pieces, because of 2012 was the year that the hashtag was created.
Oh, wonderful! And you can see the picture of the watch on the screen. And this was, and my good friend Balazs had the contribution in that. So I'm very proud of you, being a part of a history itself. So. Again, coming back to that I wanted to briefly catch hold of him and talk about that, how you can make change to your life. It's not that always that the way it's going, the status quo has to stay like that. And he made that effort, right? You could have just done that hospitality business and stayed in Scotland and gone back to Hungary and doing the same thing every day. But you did not. You shifted gears and you said, okay, I'm not going to do this. I'm going to make a change to my life. So again, mental state, right? It's everything in the mind, and you have to make that effort. You might have to make that. You have to see that where you want to go. You know where your frustration. You know what's not working, and you have to make that step forward. But it is us who have to make our step forward and keep on trying. And he did try, and it worked out. So again, unless you try it, you'll never know that whether you failed or not. So as I always say, that it's trial and error is the foundational piece of our success story, right? And it might take us many years to get there. Somebody can crack it in a few days, somebody can crack it in a few years. But the point is that it's always a mission, and you continue doing it.
Right. If you never try it, nothing will happen.
Exactly. And you were part of that. Do you feel proud about what you did, that made that email that you sent out?
Yeah, sure I did. And that of course resulted in me actually completely quitting that job and getting a job in the watch industry, with the help of Fratello Watches and with the help of Robert Jan. So at the end of the day, I completely left Scotland and left that industry. And I ended up in the watch industry, working in Germany for a watch company, or like a company in the watch industry. So it's complete change, 180-degree change.
So guys, stories come from anywhere in the world. It came from Hungary, Scotland, Germany. Stories are happening in the US. It doesn't matter. We are humans, and we always have to make that effort to make that change. So thank you again, and I'm very delighted that you could give your time. And again, thank you so much, Balazs, and hopefully we'll stay in touch.
For sure.
Thank you. Bye guys. Have a wonderful rest of the day.